Hi, and welcome to Runaway. And today we're going to talk about the new wheels by Begode with the lithium iron phosphate packs and what's this all about. So let me tell you more about it. Runaway. Alright, so before we get into the new wheels themselves, the Begode RS Resolute and the Begode EX2, I wanted to have a word with you about those different cells that they're using. So essentially the cells we're using in most of our wheels, also in this Extreme Build Commander or the V12 or basically any other wheel currently out there on the market, are lithium ion cells. And those cells are also mostly used in other electric devices, electric cars, motorcycles, etc, etc. Why? Because they have a big energy density, and therefore with this thing you can ride for 130 kilometers, I did recently the range test, or even more. And you can also have different kinds of those cells, ones that can sustain a bigger current, so you get more power, but therefore less range, or ones that are used like here, the LGM50Ts that have the most range. But a downside of those cells is that they can explode, and with a wrong BMS or wrong treatment, they can be also dangerous. That's why they're also marked as dangerous goods for transportation. But for most of the cases, if you have a well-designed pack, if you have a good BMS, if the cells are treated the right way, the danger of a fire or fire hazard is actually quite low. But anyways, it's there. So what is it all about with this different cell chemistry? The LiFePo, I don't even know how to say it, LiFePo4 cells that Begode wants to use now in those new wheels. Well, first of all, they are actually safer. So they're proven to have more resistance to heat. They don't have this thermal runaway that, you know, the cell just explodes and starts venting once it gets too hot or there's too much current flowing through it or it's just damaged from the inside. And generally those cells are applied in like marine use, in RVs, so like recreational vehicles, solar installations. So somewhere where you do need a lot of safety with your battery storage system or your energy storage system. But they also do need a good battery management system to check for inconsistencies in voltage and balance them out, as well as check the temperature when charging. And in very cold temperatures, they also can't be charged that fast. But I think that the biggest downside by far with those packs is the energy density. So usually those cells have around half the energy density of lithium ion packs. So this means that in the same form factor you will have way less range in your wheel, which I'll talk about later when I'll talk about the new wheels. Depending also on the cell itself, they might have a higher discharge, so they can, you know, provide you more oomph, and in general they have a way longer lifespan, like way longer than lithium ion packs. For those wheels, like for lithium ion packs, it's around, I think, 1,000 cycles, and then you have already quite a bit less energy available, or even like 600 cycles. But with those lithium iron phosphate packs, you can even get up to, like, Begode is stating 1,500, which seems actually very low for those packs, but it can go up to like 10,000 cycles, 20,000 cycles, like really insane. So their longevity is higher than those lithium ion packs that we have in our wheels currently. We also saw a video by Begode when they're drilling a hole into their battery pack, and I think it wasn't really connected. I don't really know what that was all about. It was also cut in a place where maybe it started to smoke violently or even explode. But in general, those packs are safer. The operational voltage of these cells is also lower than lithium ion, so you will need more of those batteries in series to achieve the same voltage as with lithium ion cells. But okay, that's enough of scientific talk. But to sum it up, number one, they are actually safer. Number two, in total for a battery pack, they will be heavier to reach the same amount of range, and you will need more of them to have the same amount of voltage. Number three, they have a longer lifespan. Number four, they need a pretty sophisticated battery management system to check their temperature and their voltage, etc, etc. So let's get into the new wheels, shall we? Alright, so now I have the iPad here to talk about all of those new products. And the first one is the Begode RS Resolute. And essentially it's a RS wow, still didn't overhaul this body. And it has no speakers, as you can see here. The speakers are blocked off, presumably to have more space for batteries. And yeah, from the outside it looks pretty much like an RS. Oh yeah, and also the LED strips are deleted. Probably is also sips water through the rear handle, and even in their own picture it doesn't close to 100%. So as usual, the quality is on par with what they did before. We have also a spec sheet, so the dimensions are essentially the same and the weight is also the same as the RS, so around 28 kilograms, and I think it has just one charge port. But the big difference here is that it's actually a 116.8 volt wheel. So if they release it before the King song, it will be actually the highest voltage wheel out there on the market. Now this is cool because, you know, the more volts, then the more top speed essentially. But the operating voltage of those LiFePo4 packs is actually, it drops very quickly from the top 3.65 volt down to around 3 volts. So in total it seems a bit similar to the performance of the lithium-ion packs we have currently, especially that this wheel will have so much less range, we'll have to slow down a lot quicker than with the current RS. So now we have also only one motor option available, which is the Torque C38. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm a fan of torque. And the free spin speed should be around, what was that? 88. Yeah, 88 kilometers an hour. So between the current C30 and C38 options, which I think it's the optimum. Like, if it can go 60 or 65 kilometers an hour comfortably, that would be awesome. But probably the range will be just like dropping down super quickly. But anyways, hopefully torque will be very intense, and I think the max discharge of the battery is around 27 amps. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I'm actually pretty excited about the performance of this wheel. Now the biggest difference will be probably the range, and as I'm reading this, 1020 watt hours is the battery capacity here, and this is as big as the Tesla V2 essentially. So I mean, they're saying 50 to 80 kilometers range. I think it will be more like 20 to 30 with the usual performance. Like probably you can get it up to this range, but then you will be like riding really carefully. And this is the biggest downside of these wheels. Like would you have a super high performance wheel that just can go like 20 or 30 kilometers? Not really sure about that. I think that range is something that is really important for us riders. Comment below if you agree with that. Rest of the data is just like the usual when the fans kick in. Current limit is around 240 amps. I guess that's the phase current. Hopefully that's well calculated for the battery pack. And the battery pack itself is a 3P pack. So it's just 3 parallel packs, even less than in the Resolute now, which has 4 parallel packs. So yeah, what will be this wheel about? I guess what they're targeting is just like Mike Leahy and a couple other riders. I don't really know. And I think it will be also cheaper. I don't really know if there is really that much demand in the market for a wheel like that. I think that what they actually should do is increase the waterproofing, or like make a totally new shell for the RS. It's been out there for so long, and there's so many comments everywhere on what's wrong. So it's just really simple to improve it. They could also advertise their new BMS system way better, which has a separate P-line, which is also here on the Extreme Bull Commander. And if they would connect those packs also separately to the board, not in parallel, then we could also see if there is a faulty battery pack. We could check it like on the Veteran Sherman, add fuses, voila, wheel is ready. I'm not really sure about this whole lithium iron phosphate approach. Maybe there will be a market for it. I'm also curious to ride the wheel, but I think there are just better ways to do that. But I'm still excited for the new product, and anything safety in Begode, I applaud. But again, hopefully those BMSs will be all right too. But anyways, we have also a second wheel coming up. Yeah, I saw a couple of memes. It looks a bit like a trash can, but I like different stuff. Like, I can definitely see that there is just a lack of design, and there's just like battery packs and a bit of metal, bit of lighting, and the top looks like stolen from the Hero. So, you know, the look of this wheel is very, I would say, just basic. and the pads look like they're from the Kingsong S20. But this is the new EX2. I don't know why they choose the name EX2, because it's not at all like the EX, but hey, here we go. So this will be a suspension wheel. It has also a trolley handle. It has, will it have a display? I'll check in a second. Pretty powerful lighting in the front, a off-road tire, also the C38 motor. But yeah, this is like a totally new wheel. A lot of metal too, like I can't see, well, except from the top, a single piece of plastic. Oh, actually it doesn't have a display as far as I can see on the top. And charge ports, I think they're just like in your crotch. So be sure to just, you know, always close the charge ports. Pretty chunky wheel. And we also have the specs here. So the size is pretty substantial, I believe, looking at the specs, but most importantly, the weight, 47 kilograms. That would be the heaviest wheel out there now, like heavier than everything, the Abrams, then the Monster Pro, then everything. And the battery capacity will be 2000 watt hours. So essentially double the pack, which is on the RS Resolute. So it's a 32S and 6P pack, 192 cells. Anyways, we have the lights here, no Bluetooth speaker, we have a trolley handle, of course, there's no USB output, and we have a single charge port. And the charger is 5 amps, oh, forgot to say that. The charger in the RS Resolute will be also 5 amps, and this means that the stock charging speed of the RS Resolute will be under 2 hours, which is pretty exciting. In the EX2, I guess it will be anywhere between 3 and 4 hours. So pretty quick charging speed for a stock charger. Again, 116.8 volts and a torque C38 motor with 3000 watts of power. The range should be anywhere around 80 to 110 kilometers, but knowing this weight and this energy consumption, I'll be, well, maybe 80. Maybe 80 is a good guess, but still it's not a huge pack for the weight we're having. But I believe they will also have a different version with lithium-ion packs, and this one will be the same size as the Commander, 3600 watt hours. Rest of the specs is pretty much identical to the RS Resolute. So what do I think in total with all of this? Now, I think in general safety is a good idea, and it's cool that they're finally like thinking, well, maybe there's something wrong with, you know, the MSPs and Nicholas burning. So that's really cool that they are starting to care maybe about the safety. Not really sure if this is like a product that all of us want, especially regarding the range. I think it will be way better just to improve the battery tech and the motherboard tech that they have on their wheels, like for example the Veteran Sherman. But the Veteran Sherman, let me show you here really quickly. Under BMSs they also have a mutual in-out, so this is actually better now on the Begode wheels than on the Sherman. I also talked with Veteran to include a separate P-line and a temperature sensor, so maybe they'll implement that in the future. But the Sherman, on the other hand, has the fuses, and they have also, you can also check the battery packs. And also the packs, the 18650s on the Sherman tend to be a bit safer than the LG's 21700s. But I digress. Anyways, I think that they should improve their safety. I think that all of those packs should be connected separately to the board, so you can monitor them just like on the motion wheels, add fuses, and advocate for a better battery management system, also with a temperature sensor and better cooling perhaps. So in total, I guess they're producing some new wheels, maybe a bit of a niche product, especially with the weight and range abilities of these wheels. But I guess I'm curious to ride them, especially the EX2, since yeah, it also has suspension, so I'm curious about this one. I guess we're all waiting for the InMotion V13, I call it Prometheus. They also have a challenge, maybe you want to join in on that too, to create a name for the V13. And if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.